Hare Krishna, Mataji. Pranams to you, ma, and to you all. Dear devotees. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the reading. This is this is more a relevant, essential aspect for us, especially as the beginners. The Sambandha Jnana. And Bhakti, as Srila Prabhupada was quoted there, Sadham Smartavya Vishnu, Smartavyam Nachatachit. That is Smarana. Smarana of Bhagavan. Actually, Smarana of Bhagavan is Bhakti. And what is it? If this is Bhakti, Bhagavat Smarana is Bhakti, what is it that can bring us to Smarana? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasev, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Those are ways of Bhakti. All these 64 things that are mentioned are items of Bhakti. And this 9, generally we hear as 9 limbs of Bhakti. Those are more like the ways of Bhakti. Unless we hear about Bhagavan, Shravanam, then we have nothing to glorify him, to do the Kirtanam. So, that's why Shravanam and Kirtanam, they just go hand in hand. Shravanam happens, Kirtanam happens only there is Shravanam. And when we are hearing again, Bhakti is about Bhagavat Smarana, right? So we are hearing about Bhagavan, Shravanam. And as we are hearing about Bhagavan, we are thinking, hey Bhagavan, so this is who you are. So wonderful. And as we are hearing, we are understanding and glorifying Bhagavan, Bhagavan's Bhakti. And that glorification, when that is coming out, that is prachar, glorifying outside. But these are intrinsic things, integral part of Bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam. And when this Shravanam and Kirtanam is happening, how do we know that it is entering into the depths of our consciousness? That's Smaranam. So Shravanam, Kirtanam. Shravanam is meant for Smaranam. From the Smaranam comes the Kirtanam. That's generally how the Swabhaviki Bhakti is. That's how the Bhakti flows. When the Shravanam is Sharanagata Shravanam, it does enter into Smaranam. And then one cannot stop but to glorify the Lord. Kirtaniya Sada Hari. That's what Shravanam, Kirtanam and Smaranam is about. These are Mukhya angas of Bhakti. And Mukhya Vritti of Bhakti. Gauna Vritti is different, we'll come to that. But now that we are hearing about the ways of Bhakti, so when Shravanam, Kirtanam and Smaranam has happened, the rest of the ways of Bhakti are simply the depths of the Bhakti, the depth of Bhakti. Like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Then Padasevanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. All those are the depth of Bhakti. So it's like this. When we are pouring water, on the earth, on the mud, pouring it. When we just pour a little bit of water, it just stays superficially. Nevertheless, the water pouring has started, Shravanam. But when that Shravanam is done intently, irregularly, with faith, the water really gets deep. Smaranam happens, and then the mud gets soaked, and then water actually settles on the top, because the whole the mud, the container, the pot got soaked with water, and now the water is settling on the top. That is Kirtanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Now this soaked mud, the mud soaked with water, the chitta soaked with the Smarana of Bhagavan, he is performing Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. This Padasevanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam are the activities of the soul that is soaked with Bhagavat Smarana. So in this way, Bhakti starts and gets deeper. So those are the 9 ways of bhaktis, or angas of bhakti. That's what we are used to here. So in this, we see the essential things, the fundamental things are Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Then, in order to come to this Bhagavat-smaraṇa, we see how Shravanam is the key factor. Right? So, the 64 items of bhakti, all of those items are meant to bring us, the purpose of all those items are bring us to this stage of Bhagavat Smarana. The do's and don'ts are to bring us to this stage of Bhagavat Smarana. What are the external things? External don'ts, internal don'ts. External do's, internal do's. All for what? For the Smarana. Any activities of worship, externals are to bring to our all those externals are supposed to lead us to the internal bhakti. Seeing we have deities, and deities at home, deities in the temple. Why? To bring us, to awaken us to the fact that the whole place belongs to Bhagavan, the whole house belongs to Bhagavan, that he is the controller, he is the proprietor. To bring us to that fact, whatever is said in Shastra, Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, what is said in Shastra, the bhakti practice that is given to us is to realize what is said in Shastra. We have to remember that whatever we are practicing in bhakti is meant to realize what is said in Shastra. So when we are in the front of deities, we see the deities, that everybody in the town, city belong to those deities. On the altar in the temple, and when we are in the home, everybody in the home, they belong to Krishna on the altar. That is the purpose. This is how we realize Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. So like that, whatever is said in Shastra, for us to help us realize that theory, this practice of bhakti is given. So everything that we practice in bhakti, the purpose is to realize what Bhagavan said, Bhagavan Uvacha. That we should remember. So from Shastra we hear, and from the bhakti practice that is endorsed by our acharyas, purpose is to realize that what Bhagavan said. Like that. So that we have to remember. Everything that we perform in bhakti is supposed to bring us to this realization realization of the such thing. So here, all the external things, especially the deity worship, the deities, Bhagavan is coming in the form of deity and standing there to bring our consciousness to be Krishna centered, like that. So all the external activities are dedicated to the deity, to the presiding deity, the deity at home or deity in the town or city. So all these activities of the body are meant for the deity, to please the deity, is surrounded around the deity, centered around the deity, like that. And about the internal things, the internal things, this we have to remember again. We may be going on in bhakti thinking, yes, I am doing the service, which is good. At least the external service has started. I am doing the arti, I am doing the cooking, I am making the garlands for Krishna, whether it is at the temple deities or the home deities. External actions may go on, which is good. At least the external actions have started. But we have to remember that the purpose of the externals is to cleanse our internal chitta, consciousness. So some of those do's and don'ts: avoid the asat sangha, associate with the devotees, all those things, and see that you do not cause any agitation to any living entities. These are all internals, right? I mean, of course, it is agitation caused by actions and the words, but it's all about the thought process. What is our perception inside? About the people around, about the world around, about this life, about this bhakti. What is my perception? What is my thought? What is my vision? What is my approach? This is internal bhakti. We may go on doing the activities outside and we may think, okay, I'm a devotee, but we will not be satisfied. The purpose is not met yet. The purpose is met when there is some internal changes happening. What am I thinking about the people around me? What am I thinking about the devotees around me? What is my attitude? What is my behavior with them? But those things, the strength to change, the strength for the transformation to happen, that doesn't just come because we come up with some techniques and some formulas in the mind and intelligence. Those changes, they are what anadikala. Jiva is so much attached to the people and things around of this world, life after life, life after life, tasting only there, getting stuck there. How can a little bit of action of mind and intelligence fix the deep-rooted problem? So that's why, how much are we feeling Krishna inside? Only as much as Krishna is filled inside, so much will our disease go away. The disease is self-centered disease. Our disease is self-centered. How good I am, how bad I am. Everything about me. Self-centered disease. That internal self-centered disease will go away only when we feel Krishna, Krishna, Krishna inside. Initially, it is an effort to fill Krishna inside, because even if we like or not, we have to hear Krishna Katha like that. But we know for the disease to go away, we have to fill in Krishna there like that. That is at one level as a beginner, even if we like it or not, for the disease to go away, we have to understand Krishna is the only solution for material disease. A material plan and formula born of a material mind and intelligence cannot be a solution for a material disease. So anything that is born of this mind and intelligence cannot take away the material disease. That we have to remember. Otherwise, we are cheating ourselves. We are wasting our time. We will get frustrated. Krishna is the only solution for this material disease. That's why we need Krishna Katha. Like that. So, when we are hearing about Krishna, this Tattva, about Bhagavan, about what Bhakti means, who we are, and how vulnerable we are, how prone we are to this effect of modes, though we have a desire to change. And that's why we are dependent on the Krishna Katha. We are dependent on the devotees who are living Bhakti, and who are giving us Krishna, the sadhus. That realization will come within us. And then slowly that will change our perception about Bhagavan, about the Nama, about the people around, about our life, everything. So the perception changes like that. When we are filled with Krishna by the Vāṇī of the sadhu, that is the only remedy. We should become a container where we are willing to let the sadhu fill in us with Krishna, the Krishna Katha. Only then our disease will go away. Only then our healing inside will happen. Only then the anxiety will go away. Only then the fear will go away. Only then the peace will come. Only then the happiness will come. When we let a sadhu fill Krishna within us with great gratitude and faith, if that is added, oh, that is very wonderful. Then the disease goes away quickly. So this is the only way to get healed inside, to be peaceful, to be happy, like that. So this we should hear. That is Bhakti. What's happening inside as the sadhu-vāṇī is filling us with Krishna, that's actually Bhakti. Whatever we are doing outside, मैं कर रहे, वो कर रहे, ये कर रहे, इतना कर रहे, इतना सारा कर रहे, इतना कुछ कर रहे, doing. Doing is necessary, but we shouldn't forget the actual Bhakti is happening inside. Let them run parallelly. Because if we stop doing, then the ignorance will take over, our Bhakti may stop. Because we are not purified inside yet. And we will not even have the ruchi to hear the sadhu-vāṇī. So the doing has to go on. But we should understand the actual Bhakti is happening inside when these changes are happening. Then only our frustration will go away. Then only the connection will happen. Then the peace comes. Then the healing happens, all that. Okay. So all the 64 angas are meant to bring this change, to help us with doing outside for Bhagavan. So the Bhagavan can come and sit inside us. The real Bhakti can happen inside us. So all those items of Bhakti are meant for this. Even that's one thing. So we have heard about the items of Bhakti, and we have heard about the 6 ways of Bhakti, angas of Bhakti. And we also heard about what Bhakti means. Bhakti is Bhagavat Smarana. And so in this day and age, how to come to that stage of Smarana? See, in the Shravanam and Kirtanam is there, right? Shravanam of Nama, Kirtanam of Nama. That's the way to come to Smarana in Kali Yuga. Because in the Satya Yuga, they really needed much of Shravanam Kirtanam. They could just do the Smarana of Bhagavan sitting in the heart, and they could see the Bhagavan in the heart. They were that pure. They didn't have the defects of this Kali Yuga Jivas. And that Smarana was possible through Yajna. They could see the Bhagavan in Treta Yuga. And in the Dwapar Yuga, that wasn't easy for them. So they had to have a form of Bhagavan in front of them, an Archa Murti, to be able to do Smaran of Bhagavan and see him. And in Kali Yuga, all those things the Ashtanga Yoga, to be able to see the Lord in the heart, to be able to bring the Bhagavan as a yajna phala. We don't know those yajnas, we cannot see the Lord in the heart. And the deity form of worship, the deity worship is actually to be done in Pancharatrika Vidhi, and there's an elaborative way of worshipping. When the deity worship is done, all the paraphernalia they are really specific. If a lotus flower has to be offered, it has to come from this pond with this color. Like that, there are specifics there for paraphernalia. That was possible in Dvapara Yuga. It's not possible in Kali Yuga. And that's why the only way that a Kali Yuga Jiva can come to this point of Smarana is Kali Kala Nama Rupe Krishna Avatara. And this is how Jagata Nistara happens with this avatar of Krishna, which is Nama. Bhagavan has chosen to come in this avatar as Nama to bring us to this form, to this stage of Smarana. That's why in Chaitanya Bhagavata, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakura says, Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Yoga Dhana, Bhakti Krishna Nama, Smarana Krandana. That's Bhakti. Krishna Nama Smarana Krandana. For Kali Yuga, this is Bhakti. Krishna Nama Smarana Krandana. So, he is our Krishna Nama bringing us to Smarana Krandana. That is the process. And this is why the Nama is the way for the Smarana. Smarana Krandana. Okay. So that's what we have heard, dear devotees, about what Bhakti means. Bhakti is Bhagavat Smarana. Especially in Kali Yuga, that Bhagavat Smarana, Krishna Nama, Smarana Krandana, through Krishna Nama. And the Angas of Bhakti. How Krishna, Smaranam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam are integral part, and the rest of the Angas are when the soul is soaked with these three things. And then the Angas, the 64, the items are the do's and don'ts, are to guide us from external bhakti to the internal bhakti, like that. And one thing I wanted to statement that Srila Prabhupada said, any services, external service that is given to us that can be performed well when there is Mukhya Vritti. The Mukhya Vritti is here Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smarana. For all of us, whatever service that might be given to us, an external service, any service, for that to happen, we have to have this fuel of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. With that, we do the external service. The deity seva or book distribution or constructing temple, even if it is going on doing the kirtan also, because that can be done mechanically too. But when this Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam is personally, when we fill in ourselves with this, then the external services will happen uninterruptedly, unconditionally. Yeah, like that. And that's all. That's all, Mataji and dear devotees. It's all up to you now.